Imagine you're sitting in your kid's spare bedroom, not visiting, living there. Your stuff is in boxes in the corner, your car is parked in their driveway. You eat dinner at their table every night, and you can see it in their eyes. The love is still there. But so is the weight. That image makes most people physically uncomfortable. Good. It should. Because right now, if you're in your 50s and you haven't made these 3 moves, that image is not a worst-case scenario. It's a trajectory. 1 in 4 Americans over 65 depends financially on their children to cover basic living expenses. That's not a statistic from a think tank. That's from the National Bureau of Economic Research. 1 in 4. Look at your friend group. Do the math. There's a 10-year window still open. If you had 3 moves inside, it changed everything. For you and for the people you'd die before burdening. Tell me in the comments, are you worried you haven't started, or are you ready because you're already building? Drop your word below. No judgment, just honesty. I'm the Wolf, and before we go any further, subscribe. Because this video is one of the hardest ones I've built, and the next one goes even deeper into the mechanics of protecting what you've spent a lifetime earning. You don't want to miss it. Now, let me show you Robert Keller. Robert is 57 years old, lives in Nashville, Tennessee, makes $71,000 a year. He has 2 kids he'd do anything for, and over the last 12 years he has. When his son got into college, Robert helped cover the gap between loans and tuition, $41,000 over 4 years. When his daughter needed a car to get to her first job, Robert co-signed and covered the down payment, $11,000. When a family emergency hit and the credit cards weren't enough, Robert refinanced his house. That decision quietly consumed another $42,000 in equity and extended his mortgage by 9 years. Every single one of those decisions came from love. Every single one of those decisions cost Robert $94,000 of his retirement. He doesn't regret any of it. That's not the point. The point is the math, and the math does not care about intentions. Robert is 10 years from retirement. He has $187,000 saved. At his current trajectory, same contributions, same allocation, same spending, he retires at 67 with approximately $310,000. His projected retirement expenses in Nashville, with healthcare and modest lifestyle, run $4,200 a month. At the standard 4% withdrawal rate, $310,000 generates $1,033 a month. The gap is $3,167 every single month. That gap has a name. It's called his children's problem now. The same son Robert put through college, the same daughter Robert bought the car for. They will spend an average of $12,000 per year, according to the Employee Benefit Research Institute, subsidizing a parent in financial distress, money that won't go into their own retirement, their own kids' education, their own financial independence. Robert tried to protect them. The math circled back and handed them the bill anyway. This is the cruelest irony in American personal finance, and it happens every single day to good people who made decisions that felt like the right thing to do. Here's what the system never tells you. The 3 biggest financial mistakes people make in their 50s don't feel like mistakes. They feel like responsibility, like generosity, like love. Helping your kids before securing your own retirement, keeping a house that's too expensive because it holds memories, delaying your investment adjustments because the market makes you nervous and doing nothing feels safer than doing something wrong. Each of these feels virtuous in the moment. Each of them is a slow bleed that the next decade cannot afford. The wolf is not cold. The wolf understands that the greatest financial gift you can give your children is not a college payment or a car or a bailout during a hard year. It's arriving at 75 and not needing a single dollar from them. That is the inheritance that actually changes their lives. Not money you leave when you die, freedom you preserve while you live. Here are the 3 moves, the 10-year protocol, starting now. Move 1. Draw the family financial boundary. This is the move nobody wants to make, and it is the most important one on this list. The family financial boundary is a clear, defined line between emotional support and financial dependency, yours or theirs. It means having a conversation, uncomfortable, necessary, where you establish what you can and cannot absorb financially without compromising your retirement security. It does not mean you stop loving your kids. It means you stop making financial decisions from guilt or emergency pressure that permanently damage your 10-year runway. The practical application. Any financial request from a family member above $500 gets a 72-hour window before you respond. No exceptions. In those 72 hours, you run one calculation. How does this affect my retirement gap? If the answer is significantly, the answer is no. Or not now. Or here's what I can do instead. Robert needed that boundary 12 years ago. He needed someone to show him the math before the love made the decision for him. You still have time to draw it. Move 2. Buy the insurance nobody buys. Long-term care insurance, the most avoided financial product in America for people in their 50s, and the one with the most catastrophic consequences for families when it's missing. Here's the number that changes the conversation. The average annual cost of a private room in a nursing home in the United States is $108,405, according to Genworth's 2024 Cost of Care survey. Assisted living averages $64,200 per year. Yet home health aid services run $61,776 annually. Medicare does not cover long-term custodial care. Medicaid only kicks in after you've spent down nearly all your assets, which means without long-term care insurance, the bill goes to one place: your kids. A 55-year-old in good health can purchase a solid long-term care policy for between $2,000 and $3,500 per year, depending on coverage level and state. That's $170 to $290 a month, the same amount most people spend without thinking on dining out. The trade-off? $290 a month now, or $9,000 a month in care, costs landing on your children's budget in 20 years. This is not a product the Wolf endorses blindly. Shop multiple providers. Use an independent broker. Look at hybrid life insurance policies with long-term care riders if traditional LTC premiums feel too steep. But do not skip this conversation because it's uncomfortable. Discomfort now, or catastrophe later. The Wolf chooses discomfort every time. Move 3. Build the 3-layer income floor. This is the architecture that makes the first 2 moves matter, because boundaries and insurance are protection, but you also need production. You need income that doesn't require you to ask anyone for anything. Layer 1. Optimize Social Security timing. If you're 57 right now, you have approximately 10 years before full retirement age. Every year you delay claiming Social Security past 62 increases your benefit. Every year past full retirement age up to 70 adds 8% in guaranteed annual growth. No market risk, no fees, 8% guaranteed. For Robert, delaying from 62 to 67 increases his monthly benefit from approximately $1,640 to $2,310. Over a 20-year retirement, that difference is $158,400 in additional lifetime income. From one decision about timing. Layer 2. Build the dividend floor. The goal is a minimum baseline of monthly dividend income that covers your non-negotiable expenses, utilities, food, insurance, basic transportation, not your full lifestyle, your floor. For most people in their 50s, that floor is between $1,800 and $2,400 per month. At a 4.5% average yield, achievable with a diversified mix of dividend ETFs like VYM, SCHD, and sector-specific income funds, that floor requires a portfolio of approximately $480,000 to $640,000 in income-generating assets. If you're not there yet, the direction matters more than the destination right now. Every dollar shifted from low-yield savings into dividend-producing assets moves the floor higher. But every month you delay costs you compounding you cannot recover. Layer 3. Protect the emergency liquidity. 12 months of living expenses. Liquid. In a high-yield savings account earning above 4.5%, untouched, non-negotiable. This is what keeps a medical bill, a roof repair, or a family emergency from destroying layers 1 and 2. Without this buffer, every unexpected cost becomes a withdrawal from your retirement portfolio at the worst possible time. 3 layers: Social Security timing, dividend floor, emergency liquidity. Together they create a retirement income structure that doesn't need your children to function. That's not selfishness. That's the most loving financial decision you will ever make. Robert Keller still has 10 years, not to wish he'd done things differently, to do them differently, starting now. The spare bedroom doesn't have to be the ending, but it becomes the ending for the people who keep making decisions from love without running the math first. The wolf runs the math, then acts from love. That's the difference. Tell me where you are right now. Drop worried in the comments if you haven't started and this video just hit different. Drop ready if you're already building and you came here to sharpen the blade. Either way, the wolf sees you. And the next video gives you the exact breakdown of the dividend floor. Which assets, which ratios, which sequence. Subscribe so it's waiting for you when you're ready. The sheep hopes the kids won't mind. The wolf makes sure they never have to. See you in the next one.